Welcome to Meliora's channel, your go-to place for C# and data analysis tutorials, products hands-on demos, and insider secrets to keep you at the cutting edge of innovation. Our goal is to break down complex tech topics to a level that you will easily understand to supercharge your skills. Without further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome back to Meliora channel. In this very last video for the string manipulation video series, we are going to tackle we're going to demonstrate or showcase how the any function or method is actually utilized to manipulate strings or to process strings in an application in C#. So let's just fire up the Visual Studio 2022 and open our string manipulation app project. And you can see that if you go to the XAML, you can see the any button here. And if you identify the click event for this button, which is this, and you go to the definition of the event handler, the click event handler, you will notice that there's no code in there. So what do we want to use any to do for us? So as usual, we first of all will have to build the full name. And this time around, we'll build that full name in our usual tbox full name. But using our almighty substitution approach. So we do the substitution. As usual, you precede it with a $sign, and then inside the double quote, you put two curly braces, opening and closing, and inside the first one, you put in the first name, and then the text, and inside the second one, you put in tbox last name, so name dot text, and then in between the two curly braces, you put a space so that there will be a space between the first name and the last name, and you now have your full name built. So with this, we want, for instance, to say that within this fully built full name, let's even check whether something was entered, for instance. So we can say tbox full name dot text dot any. And if you do like this, you're basically checking whether anything is actually entered or whether this thing is just empty, doesn't contain anything, So if you can best use it, this is supposed to return a true, so you best use it in form of a condition, an if statement. So you can say if this, then you actually do something else, you do something else, so let's just set it up so that we know that okay, so you do S, you do something else. So let's set it up properly. So now, if this is the case, that the tbox has something, then it does something here. And if it doesn't have anything, then it does something else here. This is one way of using any. So to even just check whether it contains something or not. Now, but a more esoteric way of using it is actually to use it and now check for specific things. So you assume in our case, because the first name will be defaulted to Bernard and the last name will be defaulted to Eze. So at this point, it must have something. so that the tbox full name .text.any will be false at this time because it has something. So this else block is what is going to be executed, whatever you put in here. So but suppose we actually then extend this thing by saying char dot, for instance, is digit. So now this is now saying if this full name has any digit anywhere, if that's whatever you have as your full name, if it contains any digit anywhere, then execute this. Otherwise, execute this. So now you can say, for instance, if it's got any name, display everything, just the simple stuff, display everything. So display it in tbox result. Tbox result dot text, for instance, and you can say display that everything in the tbox full name dot text. You can actually say display everything in tbox full name in uppercase, for instance. So you can say to upper, and then so now you're saying once there is a digit in the name, in the full name, the digit anywhere, then convert everything to uppercase and display in this result area. But if it is not, then let me just copy this for easy. So S, if it did not contain any digit anywhere, you can say, for instance, you leave as is, display it as normal, or you display it to lowercase. So in which case you just change this one to low. And then if you run this, you will see the powerful outcome of this any. But this any has a whole lot of applications in the programming world, but this is basically what we want to use it to try out at this moment. So if you can see Bernard is now, so there is no digit anywhere. So because there's no digit, it is going to display everything here in small letters. So that's what I expect. So if I click this, it displays the full name, but because there was no digit anywhere, it displays everything in small letters. Now let's go back and probably put Bernard 1 to Eze here, and now click the same in. It's supposed to now display everything here in capital, in uppercase, because it's got digits here. So if you do this, see, it now displays everything in uppercase just because it's got digits over there. So it's a way, if you're building like a calculation application, a calculator application, when you're capturing the input, what people are typing, is a way of also checking, provides a mechanism of easily checking whether somebody has keyed in something that is not a number in that string, because that's whatever the guy is keying in, the user is keying in on the calculator part, keypad, is actually being captured as string, even though a lot of them are supposed to be numbers. And he's supposed to finish keying numbers before he keys an operator, and then key another number before he now keys another operator, or something that now says execute this operation. So that in this particular case, in that particular case, it is any, it's very powerful. It can be applied so easily on that day. But this is just to show you how useful this sort of function can actually be. And I'm very sure this gives you a good appreciation of it. Now, the ToString function is very simple. It's just something that you use to convert any other stuff that you have, any other data type, any other information or data that is of a different data type to string. So for instance, if I exit this, let's exit this now and go to ToString. So ToString is pretty easy and straightforward. So let's now assume that I think that's this. So let's now assume that instead of entering a first name, you just, in that same input, you enter the number, which refers to the age of the person. And then your concatenation will now, your summation will now be summing it as a number instead of as a string. So for instance, you can now have a T-box, your full name, your T-box full name. Under that circumstance, you need to pay attention to what I'm saying now so that you don't get confused. Will be assumed to now be, say, T-box first name dot text. Let's say this first name is now actually the age of the first person, for instance. Or let's actually say this first name is let's say it's the age instead of the actual first name, So or let's even avoid using this information completely. So let's just say, for instance, that you have somebody whose age, you have somebody without full name. Let's say, let's use our normal substitution here. Let's use our normal substitution here. So, what's going on? Okay, so let's use our normal substitution here. So we use substitution, and then we put dollar sign, and as usual, you put the curly braces, and then you put your T-box first name, the text, and then T-box last name, the text, and then you put a space in between so that it will have a space between first name and last name. Now, you now have your full name built. Suppose you now say this person with this full name has integer. You just define int age for this person is equal to, for the sake of just let's say 67, and then you now want to add or concatenate these two so that your result, your text box result, you want to display the text. You want to display that this person is, that the age of this person is T-box full name, T-box full name, the text plus the space has is of age, then plus then age, which is this age here, which is the age you have here. But because this age is not a string, is an integer, then you have to then do dot ToString to change it to string before it can fit into this. Otherwise, without this, you will see this red green line, and then it will never allow you to progress. Oh, okay. Well, in this particular case, it appears to have allowed you, basically because it has internally done that conversion to you, for you. But in real thing, what is best, safest to do is for you to use this ToString function to convert it to a string, because this age is an integer. So it will convert it to a string, and then it will then allow you to do this addition as concatenation, because remember, this is now all string. So it will be adding and concatenating these strings into one full string that will then be put in this result area. So if I run this now, what we'll be getting is the full name will be in the full name, but the results area will then have that full name, which we have, which may be Bernard is of age 67, and that's what you would see in that T-box result area. So let's run it and let's see how this works. So if I click on ToString here, remember Bernard is there already, Bernard is. So when I click in ToString, the full name will be Bernard is here, but this result will then have Bernard is of age 67. So let's do that and see what it displays. ToString. Yeah, that's it. Bernard is of age 67. So you saw how we used the ToString to convert the integer 67 to string. And that is basically what it means. Any data type that you need to convert to string, you just take the variable of that data type that has been populated with the data, and then you just put .toString, and it converts it to a string data type, to string data type immediately. So that brings us to the end of this series, and I hope you found it very useful. The string manipulation or string processing is a very crucial component of application development, because virtually every application you will encounter, every real-world application you will encounter, will involve nothing less than 70% processing of strings. When you request for names, you request for any information, that most information flow into the application as string, and then internally you start applying your string processing capability to convert to various other data types, and then perform all kinds of operations within the application. So it is really crucial that the whole bunch in this series that we have just gone through, that we are concluding right now, you really internalize them, and always have this video handy, because it's a video pack that you will always be referencing as you progress in your professional application development. Thank you for watching this video to this stage. Thank you for listening, and we ask that you encourage us by subscribing if you have not subscribed, and if you have, then ensure that you hit that notification button, so that or notification bell, so that as we churn out these videos and publish new videos, you will get to be notified about them. So thank you once more, and we look forward to seeing you in our next video. Thanks, and bye for now. Thank you for watching, and if you learned something new or enjoyed this video, be sure to show us support by clicking like and subscribe. Your support helps us to bring you even better content, so stay tuned for the next exciting video. You can also click the link below to see other free and paid videos on other exciting topics. If the click did not work, kindly copy the link and paste on your browser. Thank you, and see you in the next video.